Hello folks and welcome along to WWR. We are here in Season 5, Round 9 at the lovely Jeddah Corniche circuit for the Lauda Round 9. This lovely track, 6.17 kilometres or per miles, 3.836 miles long. We've got 27 corners here and 27 corners and 25 laps of racing we will be having. We're seeing some drivers already starting to make their way to the track to start their laps. In fact, Bexon Boy first one out on the track. As things stand right now, what we'll do is we'll have a look at the driver's standings as always before we proceed with everything else. Onsu is sitting in first place, quite pretty I will say, on 125 points. Steve behind him on 81 points, going away behind, 54 points behind. 11 points behind him is Ricky Maru on 70 points. Lewis on 58. In fourth and fifth is Mel Dave on 56. XD Pro on 50. In seventh is King 5 Panda on 47. Mr. Formula 1's in eighth on 42. Then we've got Atsu on 38. iFishers on 34. Czech on 26. And 11th and 12th is Night Flash on 24 points. Jay is on 23 and 13th. Then we've got Chuck Norris on 22. 15th for Tiny on 21 points. And we'll have a quick look at the team standings right now. Williams are on top as things stand on 197 points. Then we've got Sauber in second on 118. Ferrari in third on 97. Red Bull on 71, tying with Mercedes for that fourth position. Then we've got the Haas outfit on 68 in sixth. And seventh is McLaren on 64. 1 point behind them is Aston Martin in eighth. And ninth is Alpine on 52, and 1 point behind them. And last is the V-Carb outfit. So we'll look on now. We'll get the chat up for now and see anyone likes to fire a comment in. Would be keep me a little bit entertained. Looking on right now, we've got Bexon Boy who's just on his way up to turn 13 now. This long banked left hand hairpin. Oh, getting a little shape there on the exit. Manages to keep it out of the barrier though. And now all the way down to turn 16 and now 17. I will say some of these corners here don't even need to be corners, to be honest. In some cases, it's a bit unusual. But right now, just coming into turn 22 and 23, nicely done there. Around this two corners, technically just one big swooping corner. I'll get full track map up there again. Into the final corner, we've seen Max Verstappen ruin his pole position chances a couple of years ago here. But Bexon Boy manages to keep it out of the wall and puts in a 1:31 flat. Nicely done. See McLaren is at Benji. Benji puts in the fastest time up to now, 1:29.945, but then Ricky Maru smashes that by almost a second, a 1:28.979, and XD Pro goes over a second quicker and puts in a 1:28.838, and that is the difference here, folks, is you've got to be right on the ball at this track with the barriers being so close together, and if you ruin one corner up, that could ruin a whole entire sector up. And oh yep, I just noticed you said that there, Jay, get the full track map up. Yep, loads of drivers are actually getting out on track. Dirty Taffy, they're jumping into the pits. You'll see Trucker on their hot lap. Got a car there, what's that? No, that's the... Can't even make that out. Oh, that's the Aston Martin just up ahead. And I think that won't be Bexon Boy, is it? No. But Trucker anyway goes sixth, 1:30.577. Oh! And King Fly Panda and is that Bexon Boy who came together? And oh! That is That was not meant to happen. Um, Geez, so Panda's going to be starting at the back of the grid, it seems. And did Bex not actually get any damage from that? No, fortunately enough for them anyway. But yeah, I think we're going to be possibly going to be hearing something about that. But yeah, so that was a bit of a interesting one. Ooh, Mel Dave just going a little bit wide there at turn 10. Turn 10. I always get these corners all mixed up here. It is quite a confusing track. We've got Atsu here, just coming up the second to last DRS straight. Of course, having 3 DRS zones here, so there will be plenty of chance for overtaking also with the help of the DRS. I think we've just seen another time coming. I think that may have been, was that Steve? Yep, Steve putting it in third with a 129.699. That's 130.203. Chuck Norris goes 10th. That was a warm-up lap. I'm guessing they made an error and backed out quite early. Got Lewis on a lap, but just coming out of turn 13 there round and into turn 16 and 17. Let's see if they've got enough to get ahead of their teammate, which they set a 130.390. Oh, Ricky Maru, 128.491. Flying it in there in that silver. The whole grid in silver sandwich right now. Well, except King Fi Panda, as they're going to be starting from the back of the grid, unfortunately. Tyres in a good position on those mediums. Oh, let's see tyres. And so's Steve, actually. Steve, Tyler and Benji all setting their times on medium compounds, so really, really quick times from the Aston Martin of Steve and the McLarens of Tyler and Benji. Lewis on the mediums on the third lap, 130.578. So we'll keep the data up for the tyres for now. We're seeing yellow flag in sector 3. That's just a Red Bull. They're slowing down and getting out of the way. I think that may have been Atsu. I think that's the only Red Bull here tonight. Yep, it is. Chuck Norris goes sixth to 129.964. Just a fraction off of Benji there in the McLaren. Nicely done there from Chuck Norris. We've seen Dirty Taffy bail out of their first lap. We'll see how their second lap is going to do. Ayo Benji, and yeah, I didn't even realise Steve was on the mediums either. I would have thought it was going to be a soft run that they were on. But I think now we've got Dirty Taffy just coming into sector 3. I did miss the fractions there, as it did. Then end up just coming up with someone just joining there. Well, Benji, you did put in a good time there. A 129.945 on the medium compounds. So nicely done. It's good enough for fifth, and that should be able to get you through. Dirty Taffy, there was a slow lap there. We've got Aaron coming through sector 1 now. Let's see, who else have we got here? Floyd and the other Haas going to need to get a good qualifying position to make up for their teammate. And who was that? Was that Ricky Maru? Ricky Maru was around. I did reset the track there. I did see that. So there we go. Ricky Maru getting the wrong way round. After coming out of, I think it was turn 17. Onsu, championship leader. Holy moly. A 128.813. Good enough for second place on the mediums too. That is the time worthy of a champion right now. We'll go further down Let's see who is going to be up next. It looks like it's going to be Aaron. Whereabouts? So they're just coming up to the end of their lap. I do not think they were on a warm-up, a second warm-up lap. Yep, quite slow time there. Dirty Taffy just refueling that battery. Yeah, Benji will be safe. I honestly do think that myself. But yeah, it's going to be closer, we'll say. I think the cut-off's going to be a 129.9 maybe. I think you guys will be cutting it quite close. And so there's still a couple of drivers still to set times. Is Dirty Taffy going to be going for... Nope, it doesn't seem like it. They're just jumping into the pits. Not enough fuel in that car. Lewis, they'll be jumping into the pits with their low fuel night flash. Is actually in fourth now, 129.182. Didn't even see that coming in. We'll look further down right now and see now Dave on a lap. Steve retiring. Being a little bit confident. We'll see if that confidence is going to be paying off rather than just watching at the sidelines for now. Same with Ricky Maru there. Let's see if now Dave's going to have what it takes coming across the line at 131.486. Only good enough for 16th place, and right now they are in the drop zone. Oh, look further on, we'll sit on board with Trucker as they come to start their lap coming into turn 1 and 2. A little bit of traffic there, that definitely would have spooked them. And they've lifted off quite a bit there. Now into turns 4, 5, 6, and now 7, 8. Be careful on that curb on the exit into 9 and 10. And oh, getting a little bit too much rotation there around 10, just clocking that curb a bit too much. On the run up to turn 13, this banked left hand corner. Now using up that track on the exit, getting as close up to the barriers as possible. These concrete barriers, you don't want to be hitting them, but you want to be getting as close as possible to them. Around turn 16 and 17 to go. Now all the way on the run up to the chicane of turn 22 and 23, hit that nice and smooth there. Now all we've got left is up to the final corner here. Last braking zone, getting the car in as tight as possible and extending out as wide as you can. Let's see if they've got what it takes to improve on their time of 130.577. They don't. Oh, that is going to hit them, possibly. Still got some little amount of time left. I can't see because there's yellow flags in sector 2 and 3 somehow. And that's because XD Pro's ran out of fuel. Thank you. Oh, we've got just under 4 minutes left. We've got just under 4 minutes left in Q1. Bex and Boy coming to the end of their lap now. Oh, Benji going ballsy here. I think they may have it locked in, but we'll see. Right now we've only got Aaron and Dirty Taffy who are on a lap, and they're really close to each other. Aaron's just a little bit further ahead, coming through turn 10 as Dirty Taffy's just coming through it now, and they could see them just disappearing off in the distance. Dirty Taffy has invalidated their time, and they're going to have to start saving that battery and that fuel up right away in order to try and get another lap in. Either that or speed it right up, but even then you would have to have already been in the pits right now. All those who are watching along, welcome. Great to have you with us, folks. If you've not already subscribed, it would be much appreciated. Ego Retire has returned. Yep, we're looking at all these guys at the top there, just like, yep, good enough. Benji being the ballsiest one there. Oh yeah, definitely. It is a very hard track to nail, and of course, with it being not long on the calendar as well, it's not gave a lot of drivers over the years proper chance to get their laps in on the track. I mean, if you look at tracks like Silverstone or Spa or Melbourne, even, it's these tracks that haven't changed. Aaron just manages to get in into 13 to 130.470. 2 seconds, folks. We'll go with Bex and Boys are getting a lot of battle shape there, coming around turn 1. Night Flash going again for another time, but they're going to be on them tires. So we'll go. Forgot about that. Sorry about that there, folks. Was just a little bit preoccupied looking on right now. Bex and Boy just coming through this little S section up to turns 22 and 23, the little chicane here. 24 is in yellow flag in sector 3. I think that may be another driver retiring trucker on the limit right now. Can be eliminated if Buckle, Dirty Taffy or Mel Dave can get a quicker lap time in. Bex and Boy now coming to the line. And they go 7th to 129.855. Dirty Taffy not going against, so they will be eliminated. Buckle, they're getting a little bit of shape. They're coming out with the final corner, coming to the line. Are they going to be able to improve on their time? I think they might, but it's not going to be enough to get them through to the final stage of, to the next stage of qualifying. Easy feet from rushing ahead about 20 minutes here. Let's see, Mel Dave on their lap. This is the only one that could knock Trucker out after having to retire there. I think it was just with not having enough time left on the clock to set a time. Now Mel Dave around the final corner, not using up as much of that track as he could have on the exit. But now to the line, only manages to go P16 at 130.680. Buckle not on a lap, and neither is Dirty Taffy. So now we have got the folks who are going to be eliminated and won't be moving on to the next stage of qualifying. Yep, definitely. Dave being a big shock there. And, GTP, somebody's pressed X right away. Brilliant. Ricky Maru getting the fastest lap of 128.491. Fastest on medium still was on, so 128.813, just over 3 tenths behind. And then we had the XD Pro, Night Flash Steve in 5th. 6th for Atsu Tyler in 7th, Bex and Boy in 8th. 9th for Benji Bucket, Chuck Norris 10th, 11th was Floyd. Then Lewis in 12th, 13th for 2, 4 and 4. Then we've got Aaron and Trucker. They'll all be moving on. The ones who won't be moving on is Mel, Dave, Bucko, Dirty Taffy and King 5 Panda, who was unfortunately caught up in an accident with Bex and Boy earlier in the session. So now we're going to be moving on to the second stage of qualifying, where the top 15 will battle out for 15 minutes to get a place in the top 10 for qualifying to move on to the next stage and fight for that pole position, that coveted position that is the closest to turn 1. Now let's see who is going to be the first one out of their garage. We're just waiting for that movement. I can see some movement from Ricky Maru. And who else is that? Someone in the Williams, is that? No, it's the RB. So who is it going to be first? It's going to be Ricky Maru, who just got out by the skin of their teeth. So since they managed to get pole, well, the fastest lap, I will say, in Q1, well, Sutton board with them. And we'll see how they're going to be getting on as they let the RB of, I think that was XD Pro, get past. Yep, it's XD Pro. So now we've already ticked away 1 minute and we're still waiting for 5 of the 15 drivers to come out of the pits. Still got Bexton Boy, Chuck Norris, Steve, Aaron and Night Flash all still to come out. There we go, XD Pro letting Ricky Maru pass, so we'll go on board with Ricky Maru as they are just about to start their lap. We'll see what time they're going to be able to put in. Now into the final corner, taking it really deep to get the car straightened up as much as possible and get up to speed as much as they can and carry the speed across this start-finish line, hitting over 200 miles an hour, and now braking just at the 100-metre board, hitting up to 207 miles an hour, going into turn number 1 and then round 2 and 3. Up to this title, turn 4, being careful of that apex, not to take too much out of it, as the barriers are right close beside you, into this twisty section of sector 1. Now coming out, getting a little bit out of shape there, coming out around turn 10, just touching that curve. You want to be careful on a lot of these curves as they can unbalance the car. Around at turn 13 will go around this bank and using up as much of that track and trying to get as close to that barrier on the exit as possible. On the next corner there, 14 and 15, and now into 16 and 17. And then we'll go all the way around 18, 19, 20, and then we've got 21 here, which is all confusing. It's basically just one big straight into the chicane of 22. They're going a bit deep there into turn 22 there, not managing to get the car turned in enough. Now going up to the final braking zone of turn 27 with the DRS wide open. Now on the brakes around turn 27 will go, using up that track as much as possible and staying to the left hand side and straight lining up to the line of 128.577, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to be quite safe. XD Pro took it a good long while to go for their lap there. We'll go on to 2, 4 and 4 after the see Tyler 129.2 Trucker putting in the 131 flat, then we see 244 split the both of them with a 129.673. Who's going to be up next? We've seen Lewis 130.107. On Sue 128.531 with XD Pro putting it into third place, fastest on the mediums in Q2. Of course, it's not something you usually see in the past few years. Of course, remembering the old style rules where whatever tire you qualified on in Q2, for the top 10, that would determine who would be starting on what tire. Of course, it was a bit of an odd rule, we'll say. Did end up making for some quite interesting strategies. Some people trying for that medium strategy to start on them, others not so much. Others sometimes having to go to the softs. Game volume turned down tab, can't really hear. Okay, right, sorry. Right, give me 1 second then. Right, let me know if that is better, Jay. Is that all good? Is the balance better? Just sometimes I forget to realise that sometimes with me being in a party chat, sometimes with a cool commentator, I end up forgetting that the volume will still be of the game will be a lot louder when someone's in the party too, when it's not. But yeah, so I do forget about that. But right now we've got Bexon Boy on a lap who's just coming around the twisty left-right chicane section of Sector 1. Now Bexon Boy made contact with the Haas earlier on in qualifying and at the start. Let's see how they're going to be able to recover from that. Imagine they get into Q2 nicely, but we'll see if they've got what it takes to carry that momentum through into Q3. Right now, the time to beat is a 131 flat, but of course, we know that is going to improve, and it could possibly be a 29.7, I would say, at the very least. There we go, we've seen Ricky Murray there putting an even faster time, 128.184. Of course, refueled to make sure they could do 2 laps. Steve has actually retired and crashed out. And whereabouts is that? That's on the exit of turn 17 there. Turn 17 was seen there on the map. And that is just where the Haas of Floyd is coming through, right here. So I'm going to guess he hit that apex curve just that little bit too much, and that ended up sending him off into the wall, so he will be starting at the very least 10th on the grid, but right now is currently sitting at 28.9. That is good enough for 4th place at the moment, so a good few drivers are going to have to try and beat that time, and the time still to beat is going to be a 130.1, and that's what Lewis has right now. So who is that just there? We just seen Bexon Boy 130.2 now into the pits. We've seen Lewis come across the line. No, that was my mistake. Sorry, getting a bit lost there. Just with stuff that's happening, but yeah. Is this thing crashing again? No. So let's see. Is Aaron going to come out of the garage? That is going to be a question. If not, then we're going to be having just 14 out here. So Chuck Norris coming to the line to finish their lap. Are they going to improve on that? Yes, they do. A 129.622 is good enough for 7th place at the moment. Technically 8th place. Oh, Lewis. Have they retired in the pits? No, they haven't. They've crashed. Turn 10. Turn 10, Lewis is out. And we'll be starting at least P11. Oh, that is gutting. That is absolutely gutting there. So we've seen 2 retirees, and like we've seen before, it is a very, very hard track to get right. Of course, we could just get that away, as every driver's going to be out on them Red Bull Pirellis. Looking on at Aaron right now, they're just getting prepped and ready for their flying lap. Just coming around at turn 18 there. Let's have a look further up. We'll see is 244 on a lap. Nope. So we'll stay on board with, I think it's Aaron. Oh, moving right out of the way to allow the silver through. I think that was Chuck Norris who's just jumping into the pits now. Is that Chuck Norris? Yet they'll be just jumping into the pits as they are running low on fuel. Oh, so Benji, you were on used tyres there. Is that what you're saying? Looking on right now, Aaron just starting their lap. Let's see what time the Alpine driver is going to be able to put on the board. Still got, this is going to be most likely their one and only chance to get in a lap. Getting a little bit of oversteer there under braking going into turn 1. But manages to keep it under control nicely there. Into turn 4, missing that apex. 7, 8 and 9 out into 10. Being very careful and cautious of that curb on the inside of turn 10. As you don't want to be touching that, that will throw you right out into the wall. Of course, I think it was Lewis we did end up seeing that with. Of course, well, not seeing it, but we've seen the location as to where the accident did happen. Oh, getting right up close to the barriers there on the exit at turn 17. We'll see what they've got. Welcome all those who have just joined. We've seen the counter rising ever so. If every one of you folks joining Aaron right now, we're on board with us. They're just coming through sector 3. Now coming into the final corner. Be careful to keep it out of the barrier there. And now down to the finish line to finish their lap. We'll see what times they're going to be able to put on the board. Going only P13, 130.323. Oh. So they're going to need to do a slow up and get back out again. We'll see. Floyd just came across the line. I think there. Didn't manage to see what time he put in, if it was better or not. We've got Trucker, the Mercedes man who just managed to make it through into the second stage of qualifying. Let's see if we've got what it takes to just make it into the third and final stage of qualifying. As they're on a lap right now, just coming up to the end of sector 2 now. Oh, it was 1 corner, 2 corners too early. So he's up on his time by over a second, so you could put it in to, if he manages to turn that into a 128.9, a 129.9 even, you could get through into the next stage of qualifying, maybe just by the slightest of margin. Steve right now is currently still sitting in P5 only right now, so still got plenty of way for the other drivers to overtake. Of course, he will only be starting in P10 come the end of the Grand Prix. Trucker still only puts in a 129.834. And he needed a bit quicker time there, unfortunately. will go down to Aaron on their second lap. They're just away to start that, so we'll come back with them in a bit. Floyd has unfortunately invalidated their lap. Bex and Boyd down the lap, nope, they're just getting ready. Tyler's just getting ready to start their lap, coming around the final corner now. We'll see who else is out there. Benji has unfortunately invalidated their lap, but they won't be able to get going again. Of course, it's not going to matter. They are sitting in fifth with a 128.969. Well, technically in sixth, actually, since they like to bump other drivers down for some weird reason. Atsu now coming to the line. What time are they going to be able to put on the board? Let's see, they're going to be able to improve. Yes, they do, by just 4.5 tenths, and puts in a 129.515, good enough for 8th place. Well, technically 9th place. Chuck Norris right on the cusp right now. Bexenboy all over the place coming around turn 10. And getting a right out of shape. Trucker unfortunately not being able to improve on their time. Aaron is on a lap, coming to the line now. Have they got enough fuel in the tank to finish this lap? I think they do. Coming to the line, only goes P13, the 129.898. Bexenboy, are they going to be able to go any quicker? We'll soon see as XD Pro pushing the fastest time, first person into the 127s. Bexenboy to the end of sector 2 is down on their time by 3.6 seconds. So there we have it, folks, that is the end of Q2. So there we have it, folks. The second stage of qualifying is now over. We've got XD Pro there who managed to get the fastest lap on the table there, 127.981, 2 tenths quicker than Ricky Maru, surprisingly there. We only managed to put in a 128.184. I think that he could possibly have a bit more in the tank, same as Tyler here, who's half a second down in third place. Then we had Onsu and the Night Flash, all them real close together, just over half a second under 6 tenths between them. Then with Benji Bucket, 2-form, Atsu and Chuck Norris, and they'll all be moving on to the next stage of qualifying. Steve will be also, but won't be having a car to use. Bexenboy, Trucker, Aaron, Buggery, I did miss that. Lewis and Floyd will not be moving on to the next stage of qualifying and will be starting in their respective places come the start of the Grand Prix in about 15-20 minutes time. Now we've got under 12 minutes left. We're the top 9 in this case now, since Steve isn't able to compete in Q3 with having no complete car, unfortunately. So we've got 9 cars, unfortunately. sorry folks, just sorting some stuff out there. So now, is this is going to be the first time? Is that going to be Ricky Maru yet again? Was first in Q1, second in Q2. Let's see if they're going to be making a return to the fastest lap in Q3. Going right wide there, going into the final corner. Will be able to get Tyler, I think that is, or Benji, sorry, be able to give them a good, possibly a good little slipstream, but then that could come into a hindrance in the later stages. We'll stay on board with Benji so we could see both the cars there. See Ricky Martin managing to navigate the first few corners quite nicely. We'll just watch this gap and try and compare both drivers. Looking on the right now, it looks like Ricky Murray was quicker through sector 1 but has invalidated their time. So now it's going to be Benji who's going to be the first one to set a lap time. And that is going to be the benchmark for all drivers out there to beat in the next few moments. Now into the chicane of turns 22 and 23 there, around 24 and 25, 26. Of course, a bit confusing with this track, but now into the final corner, we'll go on board with them, nailing that apex there, almost kissing that barrier on the inside. Now to the line, under the lights in Jeddah, 128.414. We did see a quicker time put in earlier by XD Pro, but they have invalidated their lap. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. We've got Atsu on a lap, and I think that's a Williams and an RB just coming across the line. On Su, 135.162, that'll be a warm-up lap. Atsu, 129.413, so just under a second behind Benji. We'll go further down, Night Flash coming in, there we go, Tyler into the final corner. And now down to the line, they used up all their deployment, and there we go, 128.270. Nice time there. So right now we've got a McLaren 1-2, but I think Ricky Maru and XD Pro, by the way that they were previously in the previous session, I could reckon that they could have something to say about that. Chuck Norris now to the line. What time are they going to be able to put in? Or are they just starting their lap? Oh no, it was a warm-up lap they done there. 132.197. Let's see who's going to be up next. I think it's going to be Night Flash. And they're low on fuel, but coming to the line. Let's see what time they're going to be able to put on the board. Goes third, 128.817. Let's see what Ricky Maru is going to do. 127.905. And they put that on provisional pole position. XD Pro still invalidated, unfortunately. And I think that is everybody set their laps for now. Except now we've got two for them. XD Pro's out on track, and they'll be just coming into the pits now. Or are they? Yep, they're jumping into the pits, because I was just thinking that they haven't got the fuel, they haven't got the get going, unfortunately. Looking on right now, we've got just under 6 minutes left on the clock. We've still got two drivers still to set times, and one who's still to set a competitive time. Let's see how Chuck Norris is going to do. They're just coming up to turn 16 and 17 now. Could use just a little bit of that curb there, but you have to be careful. You've got to either use all of it or none at all. Now into turns 22 and 23, now 24. Now on to 25 and 26. Of course, it's very confusing, I will say, this track sometimes. Into the final corner of turn 27, and now down to the line. The time they're going to be able to put on the board. Of course, this is going to be their final lap. 129.767. Could not managing to improve on their position. Let's see what 2 is going to be able to do. Are they going to be able to improve on their position? I think they might, at the very least. Now coming up to the last braking zone in just a moment with that DRS wide open there. You can see that rear line like a big smile, and then it's like it jumps right back down to just a normal pace there. And paying it open once again on the final little stretch to the line, and they put in a 129.167. That's good enough for 6th place for the time being. XD Pro, only driver who's not managed to put a time on the board just yet. Of course, that could all change in the next few moments. So here we go, Atsu on their final lap. They will be coming into possibly some traffic in the later stages of their lap, but for now, everything is all clear. Going a bit deep into turn 2 there, not managing to get the correct line. That could definitely hinder them. Now into turn 4, a little bit deep again. Trying so hard to carry as much momentum and to speed through these corners, but it's just not working out entirely for them. And they've unfortunately invalidated it. Now what they could do is try and get that battery charged right back up in order to get another time back on the board. Let's see who is going to be up next. It's going to be Night Flash in black, blue and pink Alpine. Of course, I will say that is one thing that is sort of annoying with these cars nowadays. It is the liveries. It's all just carbon fibre nowadays with a couple of stickers put on the car. Nothing like the old days where the cars were absolutely plastered with decorations. Of course, I remember at one point where a certain Monaco Grand Prix, can't remember what year, but the Red Bull team did end up putting I think it was $100,000 worth or pounds worth diamonds in the front nose of each car to celebrate. I think it was the Ocean's 11 release, and yeah, apparently one of the diamonds ended up getting Ocean's 11 itself, and was never to be seen again. Of course, probably some fan or marshal went and pocketed that thing, most likely. XD Pro has retired from the session, and that is at turn 10-11. And now they are out. and will be starting at least P9. And so has Tyler, actually, in turn 7. Oh, that is interesting. So we've got two drivers who are out. Night Flash putting in a 128.171. We've got Ricky Maru trying to protect that time. Onsu, where the Benji Bucket puts it in third, a 128.206. What is Onsu going to be able to do? Now coming around the final corner, straight nose to the line. What time is it? It's going to be second, a 128.025. We've got Atsu, they on a lap. Yep, they're just coming around the final corner now. And I don't think they're on a lap. Nope, not on a lap. So now it's Ricky Maru seeing if they can just improve on their fastest time. And it looks like they are. Oh, but they missed out on the final sector there compared to their previous lap. Ricky Maru putting in the fastest time though, a 129.905. XD Pro unfortunately not managing to get the fastest time this time around, and will be starting in 9th place. Tyler unfortunately crashing out right here where we are right now, folks, with Ricky Maru at the turn 6-7 section. But unfortunate there is, these things do always happen sometimes in racing. There we go, Ricky Maru getting the fastest time by over a tenth of a second over Onsu in that Williams World Championship leader. Then we've got Night Flash in third. Fourth for Benji Bucket. Tyler will be starting in fifth after crashing that McLaren. Let's hope they get it fixed in time for the race coming up. 2, 4 and 4 in sixth. Atsu in seventh. Chuck Norris in eighth. And XD Pro unfortunately destroying their RB car and will be starting in 9th place. So now we're going to be getting ready to move on to the main race. But first I think we will be having a small 5-minute break. So we will be back roughly probably about 7 minutes past at the very latest to get going. So until then, stay tuned. Give you guys a chance to get a cuppa and get ready. And we'll be back in just a few short moments. So, welcome back, folks. We're about to get ready to get underway for the formation lap, where we're going to be getting underway for this race for the 25 laps around this Jeddah Corniche circuit. And right now, we'll have a little look and see what tyres all the drivers have went on. So, we're seeing quite a few on the medium compound Pirellis. The only ones who aren't is Trucker in 11th on the hard, same with Buckle in 17th, and Dirty Taffy all on the hard compound tyres. So very interesting to say the least. We'll see how they guys are going to fare come the start of this Grand Prix. They're going to have to make sure that they get them tyres up nice and toasty for the start. Of course, King Panda will be desperate to have a good revival after unfortunately having to retire from the first qualifying session after coming into contact with Bexenboy, who's just a few positions up on him, and he'll be able to see him just ahead to the left hand side or the right hand side of to the left hand side, as they will be starting on the right hand side. So first place will be on the outside going into turn 1, but that will turn into the inside at the next corner. Strategy wise, looking on here, it's looking like it's going to be a medium hard, so medium tyres for about 10 to 12 laps, and the hard compound tyres after that. And King Panda actually using up a bit of that battery there to get back lined up on the grid. Of course, Ricky Maru already almost in the grid spot, and you can see him going over to the right there to get it parked for blocking Onsu going into turn 1. And I could see Onsu pointing over to the right hand side also. Let's see where is Night Flash going to be pointing it. It's going to be straight on, trying to get that line as much as possible. Benji going a bit too deep, and he gets penalised and has to get put back a bit, so he will be starting a bit further back. Now we're about to get underway for the start of this Jeddah Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here. Now we've got all the lights lighting up. Bexenboy gets drive-through penalty. Ricky Maru managing to get a good start, but looking on there, it looks like Onsu there getting a good start, getting up the inside, going into turn 1. Ricky Maru off the track there as they go around turn 2, and it looks like Onsu has managed to get up into the lead, and Ricky Maru is now down into second. Benji Bucket fighting with Night Flash there for that third position. They're side by side as they're going through this tight and twisty section, and now that allows Tyler to get past Night Flash after Benji putting them offline, and now Benji manages to get that third position and move up. We've seen 2-4 and Atsu come together and right off the wall there, and we've got that safety car in the first outing already just as we're getting to sector 2, and we kind of knew that this was going to happen. And you see just right there, that's where the two drivers came into contact. Unfortunately, it did not manage to get a good view on that, so yeah, unfortunately now we've got a safety car on lap 1 having a little look. We'll see who has got damage and who it looks like Bexenboy has got damage to the front right of that end plate, and also a bit more than that. We'll see who else has got damage. Buckled seems good. Dirty Taffy seems good. Floyd is all good. Trucker, have they got damage? Nope, doesn't look like it. It didn't look like King Panda's got any, who's up into 11th place right now, may I add. Absolutely incredible. And no damage on that Haas. Mel Dave walking away with any damage? Nope, doesn't look like it. Everyone staying out. Bexenboy will be jumping into the pits, and I think some of the drivers at the back, if they were to jump in, might be a good time to do it now. Lewis into the pits to get off of them medium tyres, and maybe slapping on a different set 2 form, unfortunately leaving the session. That's a bit unfortunate there. You'll see Lewis coming out and Bexon Boy jumping in, and we'll see them getting that change. And who was it that got that drive-through penalty? It was Bexon Boy, so they're going to end up starting even further back. They'll have to jump into the pits after this safety car has ended in order to serve that drive-through penalty that they got for jumping at the start and letting go of that clutch paddle before the lights had gone out. So, but unfortunate there. So they will be they'll be having to go through the pit lane again. So, seeing that no one besides Lewis and Bexon Boy have pit yet. Looking on this excellent view here from the from here. There we go. So now, unfortunately, we've lost two drivers on lap 1, 2 Forum in the Ferrari and Atsu in the Red Bull. Lewis pitting again. Highly unusual. Let's have a quick look at the race director. We'll see what tyres they have been on. They've went from the medium tyres onto the hards and now back onto the mediums again. So, can they possibly do a double medium here now? And I think that could be possibly what they're going for, as it will be the preferred strategy now, quite possibly, but we'll soon see if that is going to be the case. So quite an interesting one there, folks. We should be getting the safety car in at the end of this lap. Look at this camera angle, absolutely beautiful there from the sidelines, just at that at the barrier there on the exit of turn 13. There we go, race control has told us that the safety car is in this lap and we are going to be getting ready to get underway, and it's going to be Onsu, who we could see on the left hand side of our screen in that Williams, who's going to be leading us away, managing to get a good launch at the start of this Grand Prix. Let's see if they could do it again on the safety car restart, as they've got the ever ambitious Ricky Maru just behind them, with the McLarens bearing down on them. 10-second penalty for Mel Dave after a severe collision. Tyler is going for the move on their teammate of Benji. Benji having a little look down the inside of the Silver. Ricky Maru and Tyler coming into contact, and that is holding Benji up, and now the gap has opened up, and XD Pro looking like he was getting ever closer to the back of Benji, and Onsu manages to walk away in the lead. Looking further down, Mel Dave just dropping places with that broken front wing after coming in contact with Aaron. When is Bexon Boy going to be coming in to serve that drive-through penalty? That the sooner the better for them. Benji Bucket now losing the place to XD Pro, coming up to turn 13. Now down into 5th place. Chuck Norris and King 5 Panda swapping places at turn 13. King 5 Panda bunching and getting around the outside there of that Sauber. Nicely done. And up from 19th place, up 11 places now is the Haas of King 5 Panda. So nicely done there. 1.66 seconds sets the gap to Steve just ahead. Looking further down at Trucker and Mel Dave, they're swapping places. Let's see, is Dirty Taffy going to be going for a move at any point on their own team? It looks like it could be, as we're getting quite close. Oh, and Trucker going to the left there, not realising there's a barrier there. It's, yeah, you're not going to be able to overtake going through a barrier. You're not Casper, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think they could have caused damage to that front wing. We've seen Ricky Maru, XD Pro, sorry, almost getting past Tyler for that 3rd position, and Mel Dave is now into the pits. Is Bexon Boy going to be coming into the pits, or are they going to end up getting disqualified? Aaron and Pazray swapping places there, and Aaron right out of sorts there, and is now down into 14th place. Tyler, what's happened to them? They got right out of shape there, it must have been. And now that's allowed XD Pro and Benji Bucket to get past and up into 3rd and 4th. Benji Bucket now getting a 3-second time penalty. You don't want one of them, especially at this circuit. It tends to happen. We've just seen, I think that was Dirty Taffy and Trucker both getting 3-second time penalties also. So it's not going to be an uncommon thing, and I think the winner of this race is going to be determined by penalties. And that is the question of what is going to happen in terms of the penalties. Looking further down, Floyd right on the tail of Dirty Taffy there. Are they going to be going for a move at any point? Could be getting ever closer, using that DRS. They're right on the tail of that the Mercedes, sorry. Got that DRS open, but unfortunately not going to be getting anywhere as of yet. Going further up, XD Pro looking like he's going to be going for 2nd place here. Fastest lap of the race, but that gets stolen away quite quickly by Steve. He's down in 7th place with a 1:31.316. XD Pro managing to get up into 2nd place, and now the next one on his list will be on Sue. Looking on, Aaron and Floyd have came together going into turn 1, and has Aaron got the Haas got any damage? Floyd's not got any damage, but Aaron has. Buckle and Lewis swapping places there as they're going through this tight and twisty section of 7, 8, 9 and now 10. Oh, and both of them getting too much on the curb there and making a mirror image of each other, and both of them getting out of shape as they were coming around turn 10, just taking too much of that apex. And we know how that apex does like to unsettle the car. Steve on a blinder right now, of course, did just set the fastest lap of the race after stealing it from XD Pro. XD Pro's actually 6/10 of a second, just over half a second now, off of Onsu in that Williams, and could be going for a move. Steve going for a move now on the Alpine of Night Flash around the outside of turn 25 and 26, and now into 27, goes up into 6th place. Next on the list will be the McLaren of Tyler, but we'll move further up right now and see XD Pro getting the fastest lap again, 1:30.630, and moving up into 1st position, up 8 places from 9th after not managing to get a time in Q3 and crashing out, unfortunately. Now up leading this Grand Prix, did manage to get 2nd in first in Q2, but yeah, unfortunately not managing to replicate that in Q3, but they're managing to replicate that performance in the race. Aaron retiring from the Grand Prix, ended up getting a 10-second time penalty there, and yeah, that kind of messed up their race. We'll move a little bit further back here, and we'll see who is quite close right now. They're all sort of separating out a little at the moment. looking on right now, the team that's doing the best, I would say, up to now is the McLarens. Looking on at 4th and 5th right now. Welcome along all those who are watching. Glad to have you folks along. Trucker getting a 3-second time penalty. Is that another one that they've got? Yep, that puts them up to 6 seconds worth of penalties. King Fi Panda, our biggest gainer at the moment, but sitting 5 seconds off the lead pack. Just up ahead, the top 7 all within DRS range of one another. Now we'll go further up and we'll see Onsu whizzing past XD Pro going into turn 1. DRS being highly effective here at this track, so we could expect to see quite a few overtakes. King Fi Panda unfortunately under attack by Chuck Norris in that silver, and that's going to be definitely hindering their chances of trying to get further up the field, as they're having to defend against an attacking silver. Oh, and Tyler, the other McLaren, getting a 3-second time penalty, and it's this early in the Grand Prix. We're only on the lap 8 at the moment. We've still got about 17 laps still to go. Looking on further down, Bucko is 0.3 of a second off Dirty Taffy in that Mercedes just ahead. Oh, and getting a bit of oversteer there, going around turn 13, almost managed to end up putting into the wall, and again there, as they're coming around turn 14 there. We'll move further up for now, and we'll have a look at XD Pro, who's going to be going past Onsu, and we could, if I'm being honest, we could see that this is going to end up happening just in a few moments when the DRS switches back in Onsu's favour. We'll see that Williams just bearing down on the RB. They're going to be going for the move going into turn 1. Nope, it doesn't appear so. Oh, that was quite close there, almost going right into the back of each other. Benji getting out of shape there, and that's hindered his teammate of Tyler, who could be under threat from an attacking Aston Martin of Steve going into turn 4, and the McLarens have made contact, and same with the Aston Martin, and both Benji and Tyler have lost 2 positions. And is that Night Flash getting some damage to that front wing? Chuck Norris has retired from his Grand Prix. They've got a virtual safety car that has came out damaged to the back of that, to the front of that Alpine, and they'll be hoping that this virtual safety car will stay out. Has any of the other cars got damage? Steve getting a 10-second time penalty for cutting a corner and gaining an advantage. I don't see how that would have happened. That is a bit unusual. But Tyler got some front wing damage, and so has Night Flash. That was quite an interesting one there, and Chuck Norris unfortunately crashing out. Whereabouts was that they did crash out, as it did miss that? We'll see roughly where it is as soon as we see Mel Dave across where it was. So let's see, whereabouts was it? I think it may have been about here. Yep, turn 4. Must have clipped that inside the apex barrier, and that has sent the car off into the wall. And oh, Onsu trying to get into the pits just as that VSC was still activated. Same with Ricky Maru, Night Flash and Tyler. Of course, Tyler and Night Flash both having to do to get their front wings changed. So we'll see them come out at the back behind this lot. We'll see Lewis and Bucko and Dirty Taffy have all moved up a good few spaces now. We'll go up to the front and pay attention with Benji, who did come together with Steve just a few moments ago. Just before that virtual safety car ended up coming out. We'll see if they've got what it takes to catch up to Steve and get a little bit of redemption and get that overtake done. Or redone, should I say. Unfortunately, they ended up with them coming together. It didn't provide the best outcome for all the drivers. Maybe Steve it did. But looking on right now at Benji, they're using that DRS and the slipstream, and they'll be trying to get in position, not going for it just yet, just waiting to try and get that. The next DRS just got to worry about getting a good launch out of turn 27, and there we go, they're alongside before the DRS window has even opened, and now down to turn 1, and now they're into first place after XD Pro has a pit for them. Hard compound tyres moving further down. Dirty Taffy and Buckle battling out here side by side, and Buckle's gonna be the one under threat, and oh, they make contact there. No, very nice there from Dirty Taffy coming across and hitting their competitor, and oh, Buckle just getting out of shape there, breaking that bit late, and ends up just tapping the back of that Mercedes and puts himself out of shape. Oh, and I see Buckle has actually retired from the Grand Prix. Buckle has retired from the Grand Prix. And that was at turn 4, and Tyler has got a penalty for... What? He wasn't anywhere near him. That must be in his car. Unless Buckle ended up getting out of shape and Tyler ended up hitting it into him. And Tyler, unfortunately, going through another front wing after just pitting just not too long ago for a fresh front wing. So now we're down to 14 drivers now after starting with 19. But unfortunate, but sometimes with this track anyway, these things do happen. Steve and Benji looking good right now. And same with King Fi Panda as the safety car has just come out. Wonder if they're going to be getting passed by Onsu. Yep, they are. So we'll get the tyres up and we'll see who has went on what tyres. Everyone most likely going on to the hard compound tyres except Trucker going on the mediums. Lewis also using that strategy after pitting onto the mediums earlier. Now seems they could do another medium run to the end. And the question is, are they going to be able to work out? So we're just waiting for the rest of the drivers to get caught back up to the back of the pack. And then we'll be able to get back underway racing again. Mel Davis just coming around turn 13, as the rest of them are just coming around turn 25 now. So majority of the grid on the hard compound tyres, only 4 drivers, Lewis, Trucker, Tyler and Mel Dave on the medium compound tyres. It's quite a question as to why Mel Dave hasn't came into the pits yet. It would be advised that they do come in, as the medium tyres won't last them very long. Steve and King Panda swapping places there, weirdly enough. Wonder what shenanigans have been going on. leader there, XD Pro, managing to do a very good race up to now. Behind him he's got Onsu and the Williams, and the silver is Ricky Maru and McLaren Benji. Then we've got Steve King Panda, Night Flash Lewis, Trucker, Floyd in 10th. Then we've got Bexon Boy, whose race hasn't begun the best, down in 11th. Tyler, broken front wing twice, and down in 12th. And then we've got Mel Dave, whose race has unfortunately went really... What the fudge knuckles? What just happened there? Oh, he just lagged right back to 7th place. That is really unusual, folks. That is highly unusual. I don't know what happened there, so maybe Onsu is the leader then, I guess. Night Flash letting XD Pro pass there. Nice gentlemanly move there. I wonder if the rest are going to allow that. I highly doubt it at this stage, as the safety car is coming in now. And there we go, it's going to be Onsu who's going to be taking us away again. And Ricky Maru getting right up alongside almost. And I know that it's not really allowed in this day. Got to keep in pretty much in a straight line, not allowed going alongside. But looking on right now, Trucker and Floyd swapping places. Tyler and Bexon Boy dropping down 3 places now. Dirty Taffy down the place from Mel Dave. And now XD Pro up past King Panda, now making the most out of this situation that they have been put in. Now Steve looking on at Benji Bucket, trying to get a good line to go for it, but so is XD Pro going and trying to get a move done on Steve, getting a bit too out of shape there, going around turn 10 there, going into 13. What's going to happen? Is Steve going to be overtaken, or are they going to do an overtake? We'll find out. Tyler and Floyd swapping places there for that 10th position. Moving on right now. Ooh, Steve getting ever dangerous on that turn 17 curb. Turn 17, yep. I don't want to be hitting that, as that does that will tend to chew you up and chuck you off into the wall. And I think we've already seen it happen here with Ricky Maru earlier in qualifying, I think it was. Looking on right now, Steve going for the move on Benji, going up the inside, going into turn 27 and makes the move. Is XD Pro going to be going for it also? Just waiting ever carefully, trying to get the better launch out of the final corner as they're both battling away. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to manage to go for a move just yet. He's going to have to be careful and wait. Oh, close tap to the back of Benji there, but no interference whatsoever. XD Pro and Benji both getting off a little bit lucky there in that little moment there. Steve is off in 3rd now. Let's see how well they're going to be able to do. They're going to be able to catch up to Ricky Maru and Onsu up ahead. 1.7 seconds. It sets the gap to 2nd place now. The top 2 flying away. And they're looking on right now. XD Pro going for the move up the inside at turn 13. Is he going to manage to get it done and complete? Yes, he is. Up into 4th place there goes XD Pro. Now up next will be Steve on their hit list. And the gap is 0.3 of a second. Going into turn 16 now. It's less than that. Sorry, turn 22 now. Sorry, my mistake. Now let's see what is going to happen here. Is he going to be able to go for the move now? He will have the DRS in order to aid him in this overtake, but he's not even going to be needing much of the battery either. Around the outside he goes up into 3rd place. He goes into turn 27. Nicely done there from the V carb. looking on right now. Steve though has got the DRS needed, and so has Benji. And Benji absolutely whizzing past, is going to do a double overtake of that to go into third place. They're keeping it going all the way around at turn 3. Who's going to be coming out as the victor? Benji's on the inside going into turn 4. And now double overtake from Benji. Absolutely spectacular there. Coming from 5th place up into 3rd. And that is what we want to see, folks. That hard grit. They're battling with each other. Going side by side through these tight sectors. Absolutely insane from the pair of these drivers. Tyler getting ever closer to the back of Panda. I've just seen Trucker getting another 3-second penalty. Was it Trucker? Yep. Getting another 3-second time penalty. Steve with that 10 seconds, unfortunately. That's going to be looming over his head until the end of this Grand Prix, where I surmise that it may be a visitation to the stewards room to argue up with the fact about that penalty. But we'll soon see what may be happening. XD Pro, Steve and Benji still battling out for this 3rd position. Steve in the best suited strategy right now, going for the move, going into turn 27, and so is XD Pro. And XD Pro going for that double overtake of that, and Steve about to be overtaken again, and there's contact. Steve around and going into turn 27, and now XD Pro is up into 3rd place. A little bit unfair there, but now loses that place to Benji, and there'll definitely be a report getting flung in about that. That was a bit ambitious. Unsure what the outcome will be, whether it'll be in XD Pro's favour or Steve's favour, but we will see in a later stage, like later on tonight, tomorrow, whenever that these decisions do end up getting made. We're on lap 17 now, and we've got Trucker who is out, and that's on the exit of turn 11 and 12. Into the wall they go, and down to 13 we are now. VSC has been activated. And the question is just who is going to pit. Is anyone going to take that jump? It is only a 14-second time loss, 14 to 15-second time loss. So if one of these drivers in the lead goes, then it's going to go all the way down to about 12th place. Of course, we'll see how that is going to go, and if anyone is going to go for it. 2 seconds. Oh, and we've seen the VSC get upgraded. I did not notice that. So we've got a safety car now, and I'm quite surprised a lot of these drivers aren't jumping into the pits for a set of softs. We've only got Steve, who's unsurprisingly staying out, but all these drivers at the front will be under threat from these drivers who are on the soft compound tyres. So look, it's actually going on to the hards. A bit unusual. So I don't think we're going to be getting underway this lap. I think it will be at the end of lap 19, I think, but we'll soon see. Now, just over there, past them trees, is the Red Sea, located in Saudi Arabia. Well, right next to Saudi Arabia. So looks like safety car will still be staying out. Is that? Yep, so going to get one more lap of safety car. So this is going to be the chance for these drivers to pit. If they're going to be pitting, is it's going to be a big, massive deficit. And we could see Tyler, Panda, Mel David and Bexon Boy all move up some serious places here. So should be a way to get the message from race control as soon as it crosses that line. No? When are we getting that message to say, there we go, it's coming now. A wee bit later than I had expected, but there we go. Now all the drivers just getting ready to get underway yet again. And it's going to be Onsu taking us away again. You see the safety car round in turn 27, keeping it in tight there, taking that apex nicely. Great racing line there from the safety car. Now we are about to get underway racing again. It looks like Onsu is already trying to go, but unfortunately has timed it wrong. And there we go. Now is away. Can we see anyone going for a move here? Looking on at Steve. Looking like they were going to go for a move, and deep dive there from Tyler on them soft tyres. And that is going to show the superiority of them soft tyres. Night Flash goes into the wall there, and that's allowed Steve up the inside, going into turn number 4. They're going to be side by side, going around 5 and 6, keeping it in together, and inside is 7 and 8, around 9, and Steve is the one who's lost out, as now Tyler with the superior grip is right there. A little tap there from Steve, and now he's lost another place to Dirty Taffy and could be losing another place to Lewis in the next few moments. We'll stay on board with Tyler as they seem to be flying here, and now they've got Night Flash just ahead of them. Now let's see where they're going to be able to get an overtake done, and it's going to be right here, using some of that battery to try and get past, as we know that Night Flash is using a bit of theirs, well, was using a bit of theirs, and now Tyler up into 4th position. Next up, his teammate Benji. They both got 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Is Benji going to end up playing the team game and letting Tyler through, who's on them fresh soft tyres? Or is Benji going to make Tyler fight for it? We'll soon see in just a few short moments. Going further down to Lewis. Looking like he's about to be overtaken by King Panda, who's using that battery and going for a double overtake. Going to go for a move on Steve, using them soft tyres as much their advantage as possible. And now they're going to manage to get the move done. Squeeze in. And contact there between Steve and King Panda. King Panda not managing to get the car turned in, and I think Steve has got front wing damage and this has not gone their way tonight, unfortunately. Yep, Steve getting some front wing damage. Lewis going wide, and that is going to allow Steve up the inside going into turn 13. But he has to be careful as he has got that lack of front end downforce, and that is causing him to drift out wide, and he has to end up going and lifting off, and that causes Mel Dave to bounce off the wall there. And has Mel Dave got any damage from that? We'll soon see. No, but it seems to manage to get away with no damage there. Now going up to turn 22, Mel Dave using that battery in the DRS. Now up into 7th place, up past Lewis in that Ferrari. Is Steve going to be having another go after taking a wider line coming out of turn 23? Absolutely terrible camera angle from there. And now, there we go, that's a better camera angle. Lewis, unfortunately, losing a good 3 places there, now down into 10th position. This is getting quite close together. Onsu being overtaken by Ricky Maru, who's now in the lead of this Grand Prix. Tyler is in 4th, only half a second. He's managed to catch up to the back of this lead pack. The Haas swapping places there. Is Benji going to move out the way for his teammate at the next opening on the run up to turn 13? That is the question, as Tyler will have the better grip. We'll say that as he gets a little bit out of shape. They're taking too much curb there, going through turn 10. Now let's see, is Tyler going to be allowed past? That is the question. Looking on at Dirty Taffy and Mel Dave going side by side, going around turn 13, and Mel Dave managing to keep that position of 6th place. Looking on at Benji now. Tyler going for the move on Benji, and it looked like Benji just letting Tyler get past and to go for that move. Dirty Taffy now getting past Mel Dave, and now up into 6th place past the Williams. But now that is about to change yet again as we see Mel Dave coming up, and we see Steve also, and is Bexon Boy going to go for a move? They're aiming for it. They've got the grip. They'll have that soft tyre and could go for it. So it's 2 Aston Martins onto the Mercedes and the Williams, and it looks like the Aston Martin can be coming out on top here after both managing to move up a place. Steve up into 6th and Bexon Boy up into 8th. We'll go further up right now. Onsu still trying to catch up to, or trying to get past the Ricky Maru and get that lead, but of course they don't have to. They've got that 3-second time penalty of XD Pro getting a fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Of course, I don't think it's going to matter with them not being in the top 10. Now watching Onsu, are they going to be going for a move at any point? Using the DRS but not going for a move. Just using that to try and stay with Ricky Maru. Using a bit of that hot lap there. Is Tyler going to be able to get close enough now? No. How old are the tyres now? 5 lap old tyres. So let's see. Is the DRS going to work here? And I think he's going to go for a double overtake here. Moves to the right hand side. And now it's going to be later on the brakes as he's on them soft tyres. Manages to get the car hooked in. A little bit of contact there with the Silver. But Tyler now up into the lead of this Grand Prix. He's got a 3-second time penalty. This could be the strategy that makes it work. All he has to do is make sure he's got a 3-second gap to Onsu, who is behind in 3rd place, who doesn't have a penalty. Bexon Boy now up past Steve. Looking on right now, Onsu still managing to stick close to the back of Ricky Maru, but Tyler is really going to have to get a move on and make that gap. We'll keep an eye on the gap to the leader. It's sitting at 6/10 of a second to Tyler, to Onsu. And it is increasing ever so slowly, but it's got to increase more. He's only going to have one lap left to do it. Not long left. He needs to get at least a 3-second gap to Onsu, currently sitting at just under 1 second, 9/10. We'll check back in a few moments. Bexenboy and Steve swapping places yet again. We could see the same happen just in a few moments. Onsu and Ricky Maru battling it out there. Ricky Maru losing that position to Onsu, but coming back at the Williams driver. Oh, and Tyler jerks it into the wall somehow. Was that an error on the wheel part, or? That was highly unusual there. And that seemed to have been like a hardware issue possibly. Onsu getting swallowed up there, back into third place. Tyler needs to get this overtake done in order to have an opportunity to get that second place. All he has to do is overtake Ricky Maru. That is all he has to do, of course. That is going to be a tough call. XD Pro retiring in turn 3, that's unfortunate. No, down to 12 we go on this final lap. We've got this battle for first place happening right now, and you could feel the tension in the air. It looks like Onsu has got the victory here as things go, but he has to make sure he keeps it within them white lines. He goes out there, that could spell disaster for the Williams, and now they're going for the move on Benji Bucket, making light work there of that McLaren. Now going for a move, and that, nope, they're going to have to sit behind Ricky Maru and Tyler. Tyler's going to be the one to get around the outside, but Ricky Maru gets the better launch and takes first place on the grid. Then Ricky Maru, wait a minute, I did just miss that, but Ricky Maru getting second, Tyler third, and Benji takes fourth. I did just miss that, so give me 2 seconds there, folks. Yeah, so I just misunderstood that. So Ricky Maru got first place on the grid, on the track, but Onsu, with having no penalties, managed to take the win. So now we're going to be moving on to the final order. King Five Panda doing actually quite well. That race there. And there we go, we see the top 3 there. Onsu on the top of the podium with Ricky Maru and Tyler there. There we go, Onsu getting the win there, nicely done from second. Ricky Maru, unfortunately, not managing to have the best of races in the end. Still managed to get that second, though. Tyler doing very nicely at the end on them soft compound tyres after that safety car. Benji being ever consistent. Night Flash, they're doing a nice job. Then we had King Five Panda getting up from the back of the grid after having a crash in qualifying with Bexenboy, and gets up to 6th place from 19th. Spectacular job. And same with Bexenboy, who managed to get up to 7th from 16th. And Mel Dave up from 15th to 8th. Lewis up from 13th to 9th. Floyd in 10th. And then we had Steve in 11th, doing very nice at the start, but unfortunately dropping off at the end. They did have a 10-second time penalty, but we think that may be removed and they will get their 6th place back. We'll see about that. Dirty Taffy in 12th, XD Pro in 13th, unfortunately crashing on the very last lap. Still will be classified and gets the fastest lap of 130.223. Trucker in 14th, Buckle in 15th, 16th for Chuck Norris, Aaron in 17th, 18th for 2, 4 and 4, and Atsu in 19th. All of them did unfortunately not finish the Grand Prix and unfortunately score no points at all. So we'll have a quick look and see what the next week's race is going to be. It's going to be at the Marina Bay Circuit at Singapore next week. So that'll be at 8 p.m. next Saturday. And on Monday, I will be live also in 2 days' time at 8 o'clock again, same time. No, it's just after 8, sorry, where we'll be covering Baku for Red Arrows Racing. So until then, from me, is peace out.